running in search of the remedy, trying to find her place in it all. Focused only on the negative. All she can attract is pain. Perception is what will manifest. Thought she could escape, but it's all the same. Birds fly south for the winter, but she ran to the west side. And though much was stolen, much still abides. And I know she'd rather keep her distance, but as time moves on, she's drifting away. Drifting away from me. But did the ocean breeze specify you? Did the palm tree sanctify you? I bet the ocean breeze did advise you that you'll never find you on the run from yourself. On the run from yourself. Concrete will shape to quicksand. Just when you think you're in control, but you're not alone. Take my hand, no shame in the surrender to a bigger picture. Birds fly south for the winter, but you ran to the west side. And though much was stolen, much still abides. And I know you don't wanna burn bridges, but as time moves on, you slipping away from me. But did the ocean breeze pacify you? Did the palm tree sanctify you? I bet the ocean breeze did advise you that you'll never find you on the run from yourself. On the run from yourself. Thought the grass was green.
NathanIvey.com. Mr. Ivy know the show must go on. And for Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised dogs, close fish, yeah, too strong. Team NI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlatives, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airways, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info about it? Hey yo, John be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Drippos. Show you where the bricks at, Cincinnati Reds at. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at. It's the 513, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time where my people at. Team NI where my people at.
morning, everybody. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. A little bit of a hiatus. Haven't been with you for the last 2 weeks. And I didn't really plan on it, quite honestly. It was sort of like a game time decision. But sometimes, and I'm good about that to myself, sometimes you just need some time. You need to step away because we've been grinding real hard over the last, over the last year. So over the last year, it's a whole bunch of things in place, and we went really hard. I went really hard with the forums and everything, and then the passing of my mother. I just felt like I needed some time to unplug. Sometimes when you got to step away, and I'm very good about that to myself. Good morning to you. Happy Veterans Day. Hope you're doing well. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. Proudly served in our armed forces, or perhaps in one of America's wars. We appreciate you this morning. Good morning to you. On today's show, you've got me until about 9:30. I know we're starting a little bit later, but again, I needed some time. I plan to be back to regular schedule starting tomorrow. All right. Good morning to everybody that is listening. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. I did not abandon you. Not sure what your plans were, but I'm glad that you're here with me this morning. Again, you could be anywhere in the World Wide Web, but you're here with me this morning. Today's show is brought to you by our friends over at Renew Community Church. They've got a brand new live stream series that you can tap into every Sunday starting at 11:45 a.m. Of course, is led by Charlie Winburn. Remember, he was the Humboldt County Treasurer. Now he's doing some work for the governor. But he's also leading these classes as well. Are the people around you running you crazy? Look at dude's face right there. I told him I thought this artwork was excellent artwork. Dude looks like he is exacerbated. He's at his last ends. My wit's end. I don't know what to do. You can learn signs of mental challenges and when to ask for help. Again, that's going to be a live stream provided by our friends over at Renew Community Church. And you can watch it live on Facebook at Cincy, CINCI Renew, or on YouTube at Renew Community Church live stream. That's every Sunday at 11:45 a.m. Now, of course, we got you covered in the morning every Sunday and in the afternoon with podcasts and live stream shows. We got Edna House starting at 10 a.m. and she's got another fabulous conversation planned for you. You know, it's always interesting with Edna and Straight Talk Live. That's right, Edna is back. She's back. And then you can check out the lovely ladies with the Melanin Insights podcast every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. And plans for more, perhaps even on a Sunday. So we'll see how things work. Good morning to you. Hope that you are doing well. Hope you're doing well. That's me, but that's not really the image I want to show you. I want you to see inside the studio. Boo, there we go. We back. We made it. It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. This is my home studio. It's where I do what I do. I just try to switch it up from time to time. And yes, I like plants. I love plants. Good morning to you. Hope that you're doing well wherever you may be. Good morning to you. Got my Michael Colbert on. Yeah, you already know. Got to get hip to the local Black artist. What's up with you, Mike? We got to catch up, man. Yesterday was just so crazy. It's so crazy. Phone, don't you hate it when you got to get a new phone? I mean, I've known that I need a new phone for some time now. But you just get so comfortable with your phone, right? Oh, let me fix my chain a little bit. And there it is. I like that better. And you get so comfortable with your phone that even when it starts to act up, you don't want to turn it in, do you? I don't know if you can see it, but don't tell anybody, but my phone has, let's say, been introduced to the floor. I didn't say I dropped it because we ain't trying to mess up no insurance, but let's just say it's been introduced to certain elements since the time I've had it. This is a Galaxy right here. I like it. I like the big the big face of it. It does what I need to do. I mean, for the most part, I can do everything just from my phone. For the most part, can't do everything, but I need a new one. And I'm just slow about it because I don't want to be without a phone, and then I just don't want to pay any more money. You know what I'm saying? Oh my God, just getting a new phone is just like getting a new friend. I don't want to do that. No new friends. No new phones unless I'm getting one of them flip joints. Oh my God, we with the wife and I went to T-Mobile about a month ago. He was like, what is this? They got phones that flip and all kind of stuff. I'm like, what? I didn't buy it. She didn't buy it. We'll get it when it's cheap. We'll get it when it's real cheap. Oh my gosh, man. So I was having some issues with my phone yesterday. It's just doing what it wants to do. I'm not blaming the phone, but sometimes when I post things on Facebook, I know that there are grammatical errors. That ain't always me. I promise you, it ain't always me. Sometimes I got it right, and then I hit send, and this damn phone right here betrays me. He just goes, does what you just gonna type what you want to type. It's like that. Phones can tell a lot about people. They can tell a lot about people. Hell, if you're in a relationship, like a long-term relationship with a woman, you can tell a lot about how she feel about you about her phone. Did you know that, fellas? You can tell a lot. Like I can always tell when I'm in good graces with the wifey because she puts my photograph or maybe even a photograph of us as a screensaver. Anybody else do that? And I must be in a good spot right now. Cause I peeped it the other day. I'm like, what is that? Me? I'm on the wifey screensaver. You know what I'm saying? That means she see me every time she open her phone. I'm right there. I'm like, what? Oh shit. I even said something to her. She laughed. I'm like, damn, I must be in Nate's in a good spot right now. You feeling me right now, boo? She must be feeling me right now. Because when she ain't feeling me, I am nowhere near on her phone. Nowhere near. She got everybody in her life other than me as her screensaver. But I must be doing something right. I'm gonna stay in this little groove right here. I must be doing something right now. Because I made the wifey screensaver. I mean, anybody in let's say long-term relationships or marriages, y'all do that too. The wifey told me that when she get mad at me, she used to, she don't do it anymore, but she used to change my name in her contacts. So when we was good, I was hubby or bae. And when things weren't good, I was my first name. Now, who does that? You're gonna go in there and change the name. And I might have done it once or twice too over the years. Like, you know what? You ain't acting like no wife. You ain't gonna be wife in my phone, right? It's the stuff that humans do, right? Anybody else do that? 513-873-7134. So if you're in a long-term relationship with a woman, just take a look at her screensaver. See how many times you make it on the screensaver. Somebody's back there. Oh, okay. They're way back there. I was just telling the people how I made your screensaver. She said it was a tux. She is wrong. It's the tux. Oh my God. Oh my God. Living with a black woman long term is a unique experience. I should write a book. I'm telling you. I'm trying to blink to you. Morse code. I'm joking. I'm joking. If you want to share your thoughts this morning, 513-873-7134. If you want to share your thoughts, I mean, that's the number you can use to give us a call this morning. Let me see if I can throw the number out there. Not if I can. I definitely can. Call it in here. Yeah, the color may be a little bit off, but I'll fix that here in a second. There it is. There we go. Let's do it like that. I like that much better. That's you can call into the show. 513-873-7134. It's a magical code. It will grant you entry into a beautiful new world, a digital world. It's called the Nathan Ivey Show, where nothing is funnier than the truth. Men are allowed to be men. You can be a man on this show. You ain't got to check your testicles at the door. All right. And of course, lames get their plane shot down like John McCain. The wise words of Jay Electronica. I did not come up with that. I remember many years ago, I think it was the real Terrence Howard. He was like, that's Jay Electronica. I just looked at this man like, yes, I know this. Where you think I got it from? Of course I know that. Oh my God. Where is the real Terrence Howard, man? We got to reunite, bro. Wonder Twins activate. Ashley writes, I can relate to this name and screensaver, LOL. Right. That's what the wifey told me. She's like, over the years when she fall out with me, I'm no longer bae or hubby in her phone. I'm my first name. My middle name is Nathan. That's what I use professionally. That's how most people know me. That is not my first name. I've said it many times before. But she called me by my first name. It's quite hilarious. I've done the same thing. One time she pissed me off real bad. I was like, you know what? You ain't acting like no wife. You ain't gonna be no wife, right? It be like that sometimes. Jericho writes, can women be women? Oh my God. Dang, sis. Can black men have anything? Can we have a little bit of space here? Yes, women can be women. Okay, women can be women. But all this talk about toxic masculinity is typically focused at black men. Ain't nothing wrong with you being a black man and being your natural born masculine self on this show. It's never wrong. You never hear the term toxic femininity though. So y'all womanhood, at least in that way, is not under attack. Damn, Jerica. God damn it. Glenn writes, oh, so now we can be men? Sincerely, Wesley Snipes. Love seeing Oscar performance. You is wrong for that, bro. I'm still trying to get that call out of my head when you called in. That was wrong. Who is back there? What? That's medium book. I just knew when I did this. I just knew that when I put this up that we was going to have some issues. I just knew it. You can see her teeth in the dark. That's hilarious. Somebody says your screen is freezing up. Bring it up. Not on my end. I got all bars, all green, everything, which is a good thing per the software that I'm using. And again, let me say this. I'm using something called Restream. And if you would like to do these kind of overlays and things like that, it's pretty simple. Just send me with a direct message and I'll send you a link where you can get $10 off. They'll give me a little something. You get $10 off as you try it out. And I know how to hack Restream at this point. I mean, whatever, I can stretch it till its fullest capabilities. And I can show you how to do it too. Just hit me with direct message. Absolutely. To any of the choppers, man, you already know. Hey, Ron, anybody else having an issue? Jerica writes, no, we are called aggressive, bossy, sensitive, etc. Just I've never said aggressive. I like aggressive black women. I like aggressive people in general, quite honestly. I like people who know who the hell they are and what they doing. They're aggressive. They don't play no games. I have no problem with that. I like those kind of folks. Bossy. I've never said that. I don't think so. Sensitive. I'm sensitive. I admit it. I'm sensitive. I get in my feelings. But the difference is that when I'm on my feelings, I'll just say it typically. I ain't no perfect human being, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it'll take me a minute to come around like everybody else. Like, you right, bro. You right, sis. I don't want to hear it. But oh, really? No, I'm Gucci. I don't need anything. I'm good. So I hope you're having a beautiful day. It's Veterans Day. Hopefully you will relax whether you have the day off or not. Okay. I just want to send you some positive vibes. And whip things up. I want this to be your morning destination for interesting conversation. Again, I appreciate the space and the grace that you gave me. I just need a couple days just to get away. I wasn't sick or anything like that. I'm not even sure you would call it. I guess it is called a mental health day, maybe something like that. I didn't feel mentally whatever. Sometimes you just know, right? You just know when you got to step away. And I love me some me. Maurice writes, I love aggressive women too. What kind of aggressive you talking about? You know what I'm saying? What kind of aggressive? We need more arrogant black people. I have no problem with that. What's up, Rodney? What's up, Sister Iris? What's up, Nikki? Good morning to everybody. What's up, Gladys? Gladys writes, good morning, Nathan Choppers. Happy Veterans Day to all veterans. Enjoy your day. That's right. Absolutely. Happy Veterans Day. Happy Veterans Day. What this country has done to black veterans in particular needs to be talked about. It's amazing that you got white folks all over the country that's in their feelings right now about what they perceive to be critical race theory, and basically it's just history. But black folks, we just supposed to just deal with it. I mean, if white folks got a problem with teaching the complete story, can you imagine how black folks feel? Probably not. I know, because we don't do this in America. We don't think like that. It's amazing to you. It's amazing. I'm telling you, man. Whoo. Oh my God. I could say some things, but I'm not going to say some things. I'll leave it just like that. Leave it just like that. Good morning to you. 513-873-7134. I mean, so much to discuss, but I want to start here. Now, again, salute and to all the veterans out there for your service. Maybe your family with them, your mother or your father, your grandfather was a veteran. Respect your service. Was able to come back home and build a good lifestyle for you and your family. You know what I'm saying? Hardworking, good black folks. That's what my focus is. Um, that's a beautiful thing. That's an absolutely beautiful thing, and I hope that you get a chance to chill, whatever that might be. I'm not sure how you're gonna spend your day. To me, it'll just be another day. I'm gonna work out hard today, super hard. I try to break the body today, try to break it all the way down so we can build it back up nice and strong. Spend some family time and just some work, just multiple projects that I think have a lot of possibility, a lot of possibility. So I want to give it as good attention. Got a chance to do midday juice yesterday with Ask Ashley, and check her out. I told her this again. The one thing about being around somebody like me is you'll always know exactly how I feel. Some people can value that, some people may not. I'm not fake. If I've got some small issue, you'll know about it. If I think highly, you'll know about it. And I was just telling Ashley, who is just really stepping her game up as she's doing her grind, just how much energy I take from her, just seeing her grinding. She got a brand new ebook out today that you can get from her website. Is 3Ws.ask-ashley. And her name is spelled ASHLEE.com. I want to make sure I support my sister and what she's doing because I believe in her 100%, and she's just grinding. You've been around somebody just grinding and you just get a little of that energy. I'm very much like that. I'm very much like that. I could take energy from the people around me, good or bad, but typically, I eat the flesh and spit out the bones. That's typically me. But check her out. You can find her on Facebook right now. Ask Ashley, ASHLEE, and tap into and perhaps purchase one of her ebooks. Um, I think it's a great move. I think it's great for her. She builds out her brand, most definitely. And I'm watching. I'm learning. I send people messages all the time. Love what you're doing, sis. Love what you're doing, bro. Love it. Nikki writes, everyone deserves to have a mental health day. Absolutely. Let me see if I can change these colors. I do like consistency. Give me 1 second here. Give me 1 second. 1 second. I'll take care of that. If not, it'll drive me crazy. It's that little OCD part. It's the little things that matter, right? There we go. Now we happy. Y'all like, I don't see no difference, but to me, it means everything. So after Midday Juice yesterday, we had the Truth to Power podcast. Thank God. My lips just touched his microphone, but we use these for Black Politico. Had a lot of people on the microphone, but you already know I did my due diligence before we left there. If not, I'd have to take a break and wash my lips. I did that once when I was like one of my first days in commercial radio, and you get in there and you got these microphones where everybody's using them all day long. You might have 4 or 5 different hosts. And so I was up close because, some microphones are activated close and some don't really matter. I was up close one day and I did one of these like, I was like, I couldn't even breathe. I couldn't swallow. Literally, I don't know how I made it to break. We went to break. I had to run into break and douse my face off. Oh my God. It was for somebody like me. Oh my God. It was the worst thing ever. It was the worst thing ever, man. Woo! All of the things. But you're right. Everyone deserves a mental health day. Oh, so one thing about me is I love me some me. I think y'all can tell that. I think very highly about me. Love me some me. So I'm gonna do what I have to do for me always, every day, all day. Dale writes, don't we get reduced or free meals today? By we, you mean veterans? I don't know. I think so. Cash writes, happy Veterans Day to all who served. Absolutely. Carmelita writes, I'm so glad you're feeling better, Nathan. Happy Veterans Day. Yeah, I wasn't feeling bad. Sometimes when you go hard in the paint, you got to go sit on the bench for a little while. You sit me down, coach, and then put me back in with the next game, something like that. Derek's in the house. He writes, good morning, Nathan and Choppers. Happy Veterans Day. Make today a great one. Absolutely. Glenn writes, on a serious note, thank you to everyone and the Veterans Day wishes. It means a lot to us to be recognized by our community. Thank you. Absolutely, sir. Thank you for your service and all the men and women out there. That knows what she wants and goes to get it. Oh, that's what you mean by aggressive? Yeah, I find the value in being around people that are not afraid to speak their mind because I ain't afraid to hear it. If it's real, it's real. Marisha writes, good morning. Happy Veterans Day. Oh, I forgot we had Drop on the line. My bad, Drop. Call me right back. I'll put you right on, brother. Greg writes, I follow several former Wu-Tang Clan members on Instagram. The Jizza, the RZA, talk about the need to meditate and mentally de-stress all the time. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. Kev on the sales in the house. He writes, good morning, my folks. Don't matter who you are, a veteran helps save your way of life at some point. Salute for your service. Nat writes, I heard you on Clay Kane. Oh, you was on Clay Kane's show? I like Clay Kane. I like Clay Kane. I like that brother. I think he's on point. His interview with Omarosa, classic. He didn't back down not one bit. And what I appreciate about Clay Kane, that interview, is that he didn't just play along to be friends. You know what I'm saying? Like when you get an interview with somebody like that, the easiest thing in the world is just be friends and ask them middle of the word questions. The harder thing is to challenge them. He went straight at her on some real ish, and she got indignant. Started talking about her sexuality and all kind of stuff. That's when you know you got them. Brent writes, hopefully there won't be any stories about restaurants denying black veterans again this year. Oh, absolutely. Hopefully not. Cleopatra Jones writes, Grand Risings. Good morning to you. Jerome's in the house. He writes, good morning, Nathan Choppers. Brenda writes, Blade salivating right now about to eat the flesh, spit out the bone comment. Is that right? Charles writes, Grand Risings, Nathan Choppers. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning, going. Let me see. Jericho writes, ew. Tracy writes, I remember that day. He was gagging on air. Yeah, it was not. It happened twice, but it happened like my first week or two. And oh my God, the microphone, and it grazed my gums. Oh my God, not the gum line. It wasn't good. I was like talking like this because I didn't want to swallow anything, and I ran to the bathroom, and I mean, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. Oh my gosh! Like, can I get a shot for this? Maurice writes, veterans are supposed to get discounts anyway. Yeah, I'm with that. Jericho, I'm a veteran of life. Veterans receive discounts all day. Oh, and veteran spouses can often benefit too. I'm a veteran's wife. Well, salute to your husband. Take care of that black man. Better take care of that black man. Or he'll Stevie J. You hear Stevie J is leaving Faith Evans. He said, you know what, sis, you got problems. But I mean, come on. After what she did in Biggie and Tupac, come on now. No, she wasn't supposed to do no shit like that. You are with Biggie shacking up with Tupac. I know ladies love Tupac and all, but damn it, you gotta have some damn. And then you spend the rest of your life denying it. Come on now. If you're gonna do it, you might as well enjoy it. How she do Biggie like that? And then that's something that black women never talk about. Y'all never talk about how Faith Evans played Biggie, give me one more chance, hooking up with Tupac. Y'all ain't got nothing to say about that. But I read this morning that Stevie J, I liked some of the shows that Stevie J was on. There's a lot of drama. I like that. He's filed for divorce. I'm telling you, that marriage thing is not an easy road to go. That is difficult. It is difficult. Good morning. Charles writes, did y'all see Kyle Rittenhouse acting performance on the stand yesterday? I didn't, but I heard about it. Ain't no telling what's going to happen with this man. Y'all broke down and everything. He broke into tears. I didn't do anything wrong. I defended myself. And on some levels, he did. Yeah, I mean, on some levels, he did. I saw the video. They opened up a can of whoop ass on his ass. What was he supposed to do? Let him beat him? Now, you can make an argument that he never should have been here in the first place, but that face he made, oh, my God. Did you see the face he made? Let me see if I can get that image. The face that Kyle Rittenhouse made on the stand is the kind of face that gets him acquitted. You see this face right here? Let me see if I can find it for you. You got to see this. He broke down on the witness stand yesterday. Hold on, let me see if I can get this for you. You got to see this. And guess what? You know, white tears are very effective with white people. You already know that. It might work. It might work. Let me see if I can find this for you since you brought it up. Yeah, I'm aware. I'm always in the news. I'm aware of it. Didn't get a chance to see the testimony, but I saw like conversation about. Look at this right here. That's his face. It was self-defense, and I remember the video. On some levels, it was self-defense. They was about to whoop his ass. They already did. Now, you can make the argument that he went there looking for the smoke, and then when he got into the smoke, he want to start shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like, why the hell were you there anyway? Why was you there anyway? Why mom dropped him off with a weapon? What was you supposed to do? Security? So you bring a weapon and a certain attitude to a situation like that. What you think's gonna happen? Would you look at this? He got into it. I don't know if it was acting or not, because I think he's looking at some serious time, correct? So I'm sure he feels very seriously about not doing time. The judge paused the trial because he was, you know, he was all caught up with his feelings. But people are saying that it was fake crying. Critics are saying it was crocodile tears. Well, yes and no. Apparently, he began hyperventilating during his testimony yesterday, which called for Kenosha County Circuit Judge Bruce Schroeder to call for a 10-minute break. And he shot white folks. That's what this is, white on white crime. As I understand it, all of the victims are not black. So I'm saying, I mean, you know, that's why when we get caught up in our black feelings, and we deserve it, we cannot exclude white allies or non-black allies, because there's people out there that have died for the cause. I want them on the team. There's people out there willing to put their life on the line. I want you on the team. Black, white, green, I don't care what your background is. You willing to go this far for the cause? Come on in here. Kyle Rittenhouse was describing the circumstances that led him to shoot Joseph Rosenbaum. He ain't black. And he told the jury how he was unable to escape from the crowd. And I think I still got that video somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. I think I made a version of it that is not going to hit me with a copyright strike. Let me see if I can find it. So I don't know if that was, I don't know if he's acting like he has remorse or he's emotional because he don't want to go to jail. Should I be on that motherfucker sobbing too? I didn't want to do it. I couldn't get away from him. You better practice your faces. Whatever it takes to come home. Whatever it takes, you'll be doing the same damn thing if you was in that position. So he might walk. He might walk. If I haven't watched the video in a while, but from what I can remember, he was attacked. They rolled up on him. That's what happened. I don't think if that was my boy, now if my son is 19, I can't make him do anything, but I'm not going to drop my son off with a damn weapon and point you in the direction of a Black Lives Matter protest or a protest of any nature. What kind of parent would I be? I'm setting you up for failure. I don't think he ever should have been there. But just because you are there doesn't mean that people can put their hands on you. I think one dude was trying to hit him with a skateboard or something like that. I can't. It was been a minute since I've seen the video, but we'll see what happens in that case. You got a right to defend yourself. It might work. Look at these tears right here. He all clean cut. He looks like the boy next door. Like, look, he looks like he's on his way to an Ivy League education. You can do that in America. All you got to do is clean yourself up, put a suit on. America look at you totally different. If you're white, it's the truth. He looks clean cut. He ain't got no facial hair. Look at him. So sympathetic. I didn't want to kill nobody. Then why'd you bring the weapon? Well, some could argue he brought the weapon to defend himself from the situation that he was in. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Mr. Ivey. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing excellent. Doing excellent. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me, Mr. Ivey, and shout out to all the veterans in the chop shop. And the only two, I think, are veterans that I know for sure, Terrence Braxton and Glenn from Mason. I think he's a vet. So shout out to those two. Shout out to those two men and any other choppers that I failed to identify. Mr. Ivey, the reason I called.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, sir.
Well, two quick questions. Number one, so is that respect for Glenn being a veteran going to extend into the rest of your conversation, meaning you can't disrespect Glenn today? One. And number two, you sound differently. Are you trying some new things out? Are you on speaker or something?
No. I'm in my car, Bluetooth.
Oh, okay.
And I'm headed to my local casino to get my veteran free play.
Okay. So what is the veteran free play? What do you get out of it?
Well, for me, because I'm a low roller, it's only $30.
So when you say low roller, what are you playing? Craps, or what are you playing exactly?
No. When I go to the casino, I play slot machines. I call myself a slot fisherman.
Oh,
and I have a bankroll of 100 and usually around $160. I go to the window and I get all $5 bills, and I play $5 at every machine, and then I move to the next machine. If I double the $5, I cash out, move to the next machine.
So you got a system.
And that's what I do. And what I do is I replenish my bankroll. So let's say today I go and I set a alarm for 3 hours. I only stay 3 hours. So I set the alarm for 3 hours, and at the end of the 3 hours, let's say I have $40. That means when I go to the casino the next time, I only have to add $120 to make my bankroll.
Slots seem so boring to me. I mean, play what you play, man, but you go all the way to the casino to play the damn slots. Play some poker. Play something exciting.
But Nate, I just want to really tell you the reason at every casino you have more slot machines than any other game in the casino is because people go to the casino to escape, Nate. They don't want to think as far as playing cards. So I'm just telling you, it's the reason that every casino has all those slot machines.
I never thought about it.
People just want to go. Right. See, you're an intellectual. You're a very highly intelligent thinking kind of guy. So for you play cards to go to beat the dealer or to beat the people at the table.
Beat the people, right? The people at the table, right? You're right.
Right. So
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, right. So so I'm headed to the casino. I always go very early in the morning because that allows me to be a slot fisherman. Because if you go during rush hour, you can't do it. You just can't do it because everybody's on all the machines.
Okay. Well, have fun, man. I wish you the best. Hope you bring
well,
home a big bank.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, because I've been on your show for a long time. A lot of people know I'm a vet. Served in the Marine Corps from 1980 to 87. Military policeman and aerial photography developer, that kind of stuff. So, but the reason I'm calling.
You got any good veteran stories? You got any good military police stories? I can see you being. I bet you was an asshole as a military policeman.
Mr. Ivey, I could take up a whole show with stories being a military policeman on a base that had a enlisted club and an officers club.
Well, give us one
Mr.
good
Ivey,
story.
I got.
Give us one good story. You're a good storyteller. Give us one good story.
Okay, one good story was one night the enlisted club was open, and the Navy ship was in port because I was stationed in San Diego, and we were right next to the naval base. So the club was open, the club was popping, and women. Oh, it was. I mean, I was pulling women over. They just to try to get flirt. Police officer, military. So this one officer, military Marine, he wanted to be an LAPD so bad, Nate. This dude had Kevlar vest. He had his own chrome-plated 45. He had all the equipment like an LAPD officer. So this night, he pulls a car over, and it happens to be two brothers, sailors, and they were drinking, and he tried to ask them to give him the license and everything. So they didn't want to cooperate. So because the enlisted club was right next to the exit gate, these guys tried to drive away. So this military policeman, this wannabe LAPD, had a trainee with him. So the guy panicked, and the two naval guys in the car tried to drive off. He reaches into the car, Nate, with handcuffs the driver's hand to the steering wheel, and the guy drives off. So he's got to call it in. He's embarrassed. So fast forward 2 hours later, I'm working the gate. So in comes these two naval guys, one with the handcuff on his arm, and they said that they couldn't get back on the Navy base because the dude had the handcuff. So he came on and he turned himself in. That was just one of the stories, Mr. Ivey. And believe me, I got many. So the reason I called, Mr. Ivey, is the Kyle Rittenhouse case. And it's a question to you, and I'll take your answer when I hang up. Why are black media, mainstream media, lamestream media covering this story as if this kid shot Black Lives Matters protesters when he shot 3 white guys connected to Antifa? One of them survived, the other 2 died. And the one that survived, like you said, Nate, had a gun pointed to the kid, and the kid dumped one on him. So my question to you, Nate, why is there so much concern with this case of white on white crime? And thank you for taking my call. Shout out to all the veterans. Thank you for serving. Drop Squad 52. Going to get that money, baby. I'm out.
Appreciate the call and the story. But to answer your question directly, this is just my opinion. I don't know how black media is reporting. I haven't really been tapping into how other people are covering it per se. But you can be a member of Antifa and also support the general Black Lives Matter movement. There seems to be some overlap there with those two organizations. They kind of see eye to eye. I think people are watching it because it's an example of white privilege. What I keep hearing and I've heard people say is, how's this white dude able to walk around after shooting people? And then look at how the police dealt with him. Why was he able just to walk so freely? That's what it is. I haven't heard anybody misreporting it as if these were black people that were shot and killed, because they were not. But it doesn't mean they weren't out there for the cause. So I think a lot of people are watching it because they want to see if white privilege is going to win and how he's going to be dealt with, because people are always comparing it to how black folks are being dealt with. You know what I'm saying? And people, whether it's fair or not, that's how people are looking at it. So we shall see. I mean, from what I understand, he might walk on it. Tracy writes, broke down. He has no tears, just 1,000 blinks. F that white boy. Tori writes, crying for himself. Right. TC writes, show is ugly. See, y'all getting all personal with him. I don't know if he's ugly or not. That's for somebody else to make that decision. I'm just saying that he's being called out on the internet as crocodile tears. That's like when you're crying to get sympathy, but you're really just playing a role. And he, from what I'm reading, he read that he felt cornered. And I'm telling you, white folks in that jury is going to see themselves and ask themselves, what would I do? They're going to think, if it was me, I would do the same thing. Even NBA star LeBron James spoke about Kyle Rittenhouse's testimony and the fact that he broke down on tears. LeBron James tweeted, "What tears? I didn't see one. Man, knock it off. That boy ate some lemon heads before walking into court." I'm looking at it right now. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up. I might be able to. This is Kyle Rittenhouse. Hold on, let me see if I can find this real quick.
That's what I... That's what I run.
We're going to just take time for our break anyway. You can just relax for a minute, sir. We're going to take a break.
Is he acting? Is that acting? Let's watch it again. Hold on.
There were 3 people right there.
Take a deep breath, Kyle.
That's what I... That's what I run.
We're going to just take time for our break anyway. You can just relax for a minute, sir. We're going to take a break.
Oh boy.
There were...
If I had to, if somebody was saying, well, Nate, what do you think? Do you think that was real or not? Was he trying to force it? It seemed forced to me. I mean, everybody cries differently. So having not been around Kyle Rittenhouse, I don't know how he cries and how he acts, but I can see, let me put it this way. I can see why other people are saying it was fake. I can see that. I can see why other people would say that. And let's watch it with no sound. So you're watching a clip of Kyle Rittenhouse breaking down on the court, on the witness stand yesterday. And critics are saying it was crocodile tears because there was no real tears coming out of his eyes. He's scared though. He's scared because he's looking at going to prison. That's the last place in the world anybody want to be in. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, Nate. It's Kev on the stand.
Hey, what's up, Kev? Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey, glad you took some time, man. Everybody should. Good mental health is important, whether you recognize it as that or not. You know what I mean? A little time off. Sometimes you got to rest those cells, man. That gray matter gets tired. But anyway, that's real tears, man. If you were telling me that, that I was possibly going to go to jail for basically 2 murders and a possible murder or attempted murder, that's real to me. I think that don't change nothing, man. I mean, I feel bad for you, but I feel a lot worse for the people that are no longer breathing. Now, but he's an 18-year-old kid too, man, and so folks are kind of like, I don't know, man. I think that was real. To all my veterans out there, thanks for your service. Without you fighting for us, I didn't do it. So I definitely recognize and appreciate the fact that some folks did. A lot of families, which I had actually served. So one of only a couple regrets that I might have. But anyway, Nate, let's go, man. It's a new day. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful outside. I happen to work for a bank, so it's a bank holiday. I like those. uh, but hey, man, just be blessed. Let's keep going, man. Choppers support choppers. Choppers, let's keep rocking. You know what I mean? Let's make wealth. Share it with our families. Change your family tree. That's all I got, bro. Be blessed.
Thanks for the call. That's all I need. That's Kev on the cell, man. I like that, brother. I like that, brother, man. Kev's just going on personalities where you can't not like them. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that kind of personality. I wish I did from time to time. I'm a like it or love it kind of dude. It's just how it is with me. But I like Kev. Couple more things I want to talk about. Two things. City Council decided to not ban something in the city that I was hoping that they did. And Cincinnati City Council passed something I think can have a real positive impact when it comes to preventing evictions in the city of Cincinnati. And I want to talk about both of those on the other side. I got to take a quick break. We'll be right back, but you got to hear a word from today's sponsor, my friends over at the Ohio State of Emergency and our friends over at Renew Community Church. So check this out, and we'll be right back.
Can't sleep.
It's hard to pay attention in school.
I say mean things.
I keep getting in trouble.
I bully other kids.
I'm just scared.
No one sees my pain.
Sometimes I want to die.
So many of our children are facing trauma, but instead of seeing their pain and fear, we're labeling them bad, troubled, delinquent, or criminal. Let's look beyond their behaviors. Let's get them the help they need by helping them address the trauma they're facing.
Help me feel safe.
See me for more than my behaviors.
Understand that my actions are how I communicate my fears.
For more information, visit www.ohiostateofemergency.com. That's ohiostateofemergency.com.
One more time. That's ohiostateofemergency.com. And those spots are sponsored by our friends over at Renew Community Church. They support the work that the folks at the Ohio State of Emergency are doing. Speaking of which, are the people around you running you crazy? You ever felt like that before? Are these mofos and lost their damn minds? Well, our friends over at Renew Community Church have a live stream series, and they're going to be doing it this Sunday at 11:45 a.m. You can learn signs of mental challenges and when to ask for help. You can watch it live on Facebook at Cincy Renew, that's CINCI Renew, or on YouTube at Renew Community Church live stream. And those trainings are going to be led by our very own Charlie Wimburn. All right, so check it out. Check it out for yourself. As I said, there's a couple things that went through council yesterday, one of which I was really hoping that they would ban. There's a practice that's been allowed to go on for far too long in the city of Cincinnati, far too long. And I was hoping that our friends down at City Council were going to come put it to an end. But they decided not to. I'll give you the details on that. And also, now Cincinnati landlords have to accept late rent under a new pay-to-stay ordinance. And I think it's worthy of some conversation. But before we get to all of that, we got somebody on the line. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, Nathan. It's Nicole.
Hey, what's up, Nicole? Good morning.
Good morning, Choppers. Hey. I'm interested to hear what you was going to say about council, so I'll make this quick. I wanted to speak real quick on the Cal Rittenhouse case. Everybody knows that the judge originally was the one that ruled that the defense could not refer to the people that were shot and killed as victims, but they could be referred as looters, rioters, and arsonists. So from the jump, that judge really exposed his disdain for the protesters, whether they were white or black. He showed that he kind of has a bias, and it seems like all throughout the trial, he's been very, very favorable to the defense, Cal Rittenhouse, team. And even yesterday, there was a moment where like he scolded the prosecution, with some rules and everything else, and it could have been valid, but just the way he took that opportunity, it made national news, the way he talked down to the prosecution. But I think that there was another situation where one of the jurors, they were removed because they were caught joking with a bailiff or a police officer there, like about Jacob Blake, which this is why the whole thing was, even began. The protest was over the gentleman, African-American man that was shot in the back like 7 times. So he had made some joke like, why did it take so many shots to take down, Jacob? So it was really tasteless and racist, and luckily they removed him. So think about the dynamic here. You know what I'm saying? The jury here may be filled with people that just like, they don't care for Black Lives Matter. They don't care for the people, like I said, whether they black or white, that came out in protest in favor or in support of Jacob Blake. The crime, to me, was ridiculously fake. But he needs to do that because he needs to look young, innocent, and everything else. And so, I mean, that show that could have won an Academy Award. And I don't know if people noticed, but if you've been watching it, the young man is very rehearsed. I mean, he act like at times he can't understand and he don't know. But then when it comes to like critical questions, he knows just enough to not answer it. He's real rehearsed, like someone who, or like anyone that gets their gun license. There's certain things they tell you to say, and he does not divvy away from that. So he's not some young, dumb, I just didn't know type. He knows that he's real well rehearsed. Time he was 17, what the defense is showing is that at the time he was 17, he's 18 now, but they're showing that it was illegal for him to even own a gun. So one, you had something that you was not even legally allowed to possess. Someone had to buy the gun for you, and that person is supposed to come to court when they begin trial again. He broke curfew because when all the uprising was happening, a curfew broke out. So you went out of your way to come to another state, pick up a gun that you weren't even legally allowed to possess, and then you go into a situation where you are again breaking the law, even though he wasn't charged, and that's what the defense brought up. You're breaking curfew to go into a dangerous situation. They slowed down the video, and they showed the first man. The prosecution is basically saying like he didn't have any weapons, and matter of fact, at a moment before Rittenhouse shot him, he kind of like leaped up in the air, had both his hands up, showing he had no weapon. I mean, it was apparent then he had no weapons, and all Rittenhouse kept saying, he was just charging me, he was coming after me, and I felt like he was trying to take my gun. You know what I mean? So his defense is that I had to shoot him because he was going to take my gun. Keep in mind too, they're showing in videos throughout the incident. He was pointing his gun at people. Like it was a black guy on top of a car, and he had like pointed his gun toward him and stuff. And then later, the black guy saw him. He was on a corner with some of his friends, like, "Hey, you pointed your gun at me." He's like, "Oh, I," and they caught him on video saying, "Oh, I did." He said something like, "Oh yeah, I did, huh?" And they just turned around like, "But what you gonna do about it?" So, and then he's like, so the prosecution caught him in a lie, saying that he didn't, raise his gun. He's like, "But the black guy just confronted you right there, saying that you pointed a gun, and you admitted like, 'Oh yeah, I did,' and turned away." He was like, "Well, I was just being sarcastic or whatever." Like, say, but why would you say it like that? Because without that gun, you would say something like that. Like, he was like, well, I just said that because I was trying to joke it off and not be in a confrontation. But he's like, you're doing things to cause confrontations. Like you're saying it in a condescending way, like, oh yeah, I did. So what you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like type situation. So they're showing a lot of his demeanor, and then when he's on the stand, he's coming off like, a little arrogant. And some people might see it like, oh, he's crying or whatever. But they're showing that they're breaking down the video to a degree to just show you, like, none of the people were armed. And even like comparing to a kick, like self-defense supposed to be, equal force or whatnot. And the one guy that did have a gun, they were showing how he never drew his gun at him. And it wasn't until he had pointed his gun that he had the gun in his hand, but it was almost like a okay corral, like, and then just like the prosecution presented, like, if he wanted to shoot you, wouldn't that have been possible to shoot you 10 feet away, 20 feet away? Why would he need to come up on you and then try to shoot you? He couldn't explain that. He just kept saying his same point over and over. But for most part, you had already shot somebody. At this point, he said, oh, people start coming after me. The video showed people wasn't coming after him. People started gathering around the guy who got shot. It wasn't until he ran away that people was like, hey, he just shot a guy. So now it's people proactively trying to stop him because you just committed a crime in front of everybody. People were trying to disarm him to keep him from shooting anybody else. But that was really, really dangerous to do. And the aftermath is you got 3 people shot, 2 dead in that effort. But if people see that, it's going to be on this jury to figure out, like, or to take that and see it like, okay, well, was he in danger? But I think the prosecution is showing, like, people weren't coming after him and charging him like that. It wasn't until he committed his crime was that people were trying to stop him and say to police, like, he just shot somebody. And then some people try to be even more bold and tackle when he had that powerful gun. Like, ain't no way. The black people was like, back, ain't nobody playing around that close. But some of those people, they were trying to get the gun out of his hand, clearly. So we'll see how this all turn out. But it's interesting. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk your ear off.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's pretty good.
I appreciate the call.
All right. Talk to you later.
Yep, most definitely. Yeah, I love TNT's call. We already know. We know we info, sis. We already know. Let me see here. I'm trying to find out. I got a video what appears to be Kyle Rittenhouse, like, getting bullied. I got that. Or him bullying a girl or something like that. I'm looking for that original video of the shooting. And I just have to go through my files and see if I can find it there. Yeah, I have to look at it. It's just some sources that I just don't trust. Appreciate it. Brian writes, thank you, TNT. He shot first. Then they came for him. The chronology matters. That's correct. That's correct. It's been a minute since I've seen that video. Talking about self-defense. I tell you what, if you that scary, man, don't get into the fire. If you don't like to get burned, then don't go to it. But don't take a weapon and then shoot somebody that you don't really have to shoot. It's ridiculous. So yesterday there was an article, and I posted on my Facebook page along with some personal thoughts about horse-drawn carriages. Can we raise our hands if you've ever ridden in a horse-drawn carriage? And City Council voted in favor of keeping horse-drawn carriage rides in downtown Cincinnati. If you've ever gone to downtown Cincinnati, you got a couple folks that provide this service. And basically, it's a horse and a carriage. And this is what passes as romance in the city of Cincinnati. Just yesterday, Cincinnati City Council voted down changes to an existing ordinance that would ban all for-hire animal-drawn carriages in city limits except for parades and weddings. Some people believe that commercial operation of animal-drawn carriages on asphalt and concrete is inhumane. And this was all according to changes proposed by outgoing city council person Chris Silbach. I mean, just think about this, man. All these characters that we've had on, and I don't want to reduce these people to characters because they're human beings, but Christopher Smitherman, PG Sinfield's not going to be there any longer. Jeff Pastor, Chris Silbach, all these people that we have been talking about for years and years and years, no longer going to be there. It's a wrap. We got a whole new, I just hope we got some fun. I hope there's some people down there that's going to give us something to talk about. It's going to bring the drama. I hope so. Chris Silbach also said the smell of horse manure can and has had an impact on small businesses, including restaurants, bars, and theaters. Now, let me, the wifey's not here. She and the kids went early grocery shopping, so she probably ain't got time to see this part. So I can speak freely. But what man thinks that riding in a horse-drawn carriage is fun? That shit ain't fun. The wife and I did that for the first time and one time. I mean, damn, I got lucky with that woman. On some things we see eye to eye. On this thing, I'm not really sure about it. Like my wife and I, we see eye to eye when it comes to Disney World. Our children are never going to go to Disney World. I'm never taking my kids to Disney World because that shit seems like it's a lot of money and boring as hell. It seems boring as hell. I'm going to drive or take a plane or drive all the way down there and stand in line. I could do that at Kings Island. It seemed like it's overpriced. And I'm way past the days where a grown up in a Pluto outfit or a Mickey Mouse outfit can really like move me. Y'all think that's fun? Magic Mountain. I don't give a damn about no damn Magic Mountain. It seemed boring as hell. And the wifey, oh my gosh, she right. We see eye to eye on that. We see eye to eye. Our kids will never go. My daughter's never gone. They brought up over the years, man, I'd take a big old gallon of water and throw it right on that fire. We putting that shit out quick. We ain't never going there. Hell, we've never taken our children to Kings Island. That shit is boring as fuck. Excuse my language. Lord, forgive me for my brash flavor. Stop fronting. Stop fronting. Stop fronting. If you ever took your kids down there, you was like, why I do this shit? I want to go home. And I feel the same way about horse-drawn carriages. Ain't nothing romantic about smelling a horse. That ish is overrated. One of the most overrated experience of all time is riding in a horse-drawn carriage. It's got to be. Tell me I'm wrong about that. Tell me I'm wrong about that. Disney is fun. Uh-huh. Sure it is. For who? For Disney. Call me abusive. My kids ain't never going. They can go when they become adults. You want to take your brother down there? Yeah, go ahead. We ain't going. That sounds like boring. It's like, why would I stay here multiple nights? Like, what am I coming back for? You see Mickey Mouse? I don't give a damn about no damn Mickey Mouse. Ron writes, Nate, wifey gonna change her screensaver picture. Be careful. You might be right about that, bro. That's hilarious, man. I used to like amusement parks before I realized that ain't shit amusing about them. It's just really expensive. I used to work at Kings Island. It didn't end too well. It didn't end well at all. And I think once you work at the candy store, the candy don't taste the same. You know what I'm saying? Depends on what the candy is, right? Some candy, it's got a longer shelf life than others. Can I get an amen on this? Any men gonna back me up on this? You crack it up, Ron P. Any men gonna back me up on this? Raise your hand if you believe that riding in a horse-drawn carriage is one of the most overrated human experiences of all time. Of all time, Craig. Man, we did that ish. It was so damn boring. Oh my God. I just wanted to fall asleep so I could wake up when it was over. And horse smell? Horse smell? What cologne is that? What cologne is that? Recreating the smell of a horse. I don't want to smell no horse unless I'm riding that motherfucker to freedom. That's about it. Then it's a great smell. But I'm going to choose to pay for this? Man, I just get an Uber and have them drive slow around Washington Park. That's more romantic than a horse-drawn carriage. Please. Please. That's a female thing. That's a female thing, and it goes back to that goddamn Cinderella. Run around here trying to be Cinderella. You ain't Cinderella. You're not Cinderella. You're not Spinderella. You're not Rockefeller. None of that shit. Excuse me. Please forgive me for my brash for living. There it is. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do better. Do better, Nate. Do better, Nate. It is one of the most overrated experiences. Don't tell my wife. Please don't tell her, because I'm trying to stay on her screensaver. So I don't want that kind of, I want to stay there. I'm in a good spot right now. I look over. She turns her phone on. I see me. I'm like, psh. She thinking about your boy. Danita writes, I had an ex take me on a carriage ride back in the day. We had just met and he was shooting his shot. It worked. After him, I don't even want to look at the horse. He shot his shot, huh? Oh my God. Yeah, that's because women are God made y'all that way. If women weren't that way about those kind of things, then we would never procreate. So God made y'all that way. That's a strictly female thing. It's the female of the human species that's perpetuating that business. Because men, we don't never want to do no shit like that, ever. Unless it's a dude that's trying to like shoot his shot, right? And if you see that's going to work on her, then you're going to go for it. But city council decided to not ban it. Damn, council. Thought y'all was doing the right things down here, man. Apparently, a petition to ban carriage rides in downtown Cincinnati back in 2015 drew thousands of signatures. Animal rights activists said that it's deplorable living conditions for the horses, so that's something to consider. So I don't know, but we'll see what happens with that. It is overrated. Overrated. Brenda writes, screensaver done changed when you made that Cindy comment. Victoria writes, you are on Spreaker, sir. My 25-year-old son is married, is listening. I love carriage rides. Stop it. That is so overrated. We only do that for you. Men only do, and you can't never say that men don't care about women, because we be doing whole carriage rides for y'all and everything. Men don't care about no damn carriage rides. The only kind of man that's into a carriage ride is a dude that did some dumb ish, so he's trying to get out the doghouse, so he'll do whatever. He'll do whatever to get back in good. Or he's trying to shoot his shot. He's trying to hit. And he sees that you're like open to this, like, yeah, snuggle up, boo. Get comfortable. Those are the only two circumstances. Your longtime husband, as long as he's not in the doghouse, he don't want to do that. I did it with the wifey, and I acted like I was cool with it. I might have told her afterward, like, you know what, this is boring. But we got somebody on the line. Let me go straight to the line. I almost forgot that. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, Nate?
Hey, what's up?
This OJ Hancock, man.
What? OJ Hancock? What in the hell? Dad, I was just asking about you, man. How you doing, man?
Still fighting crime every chance I get, holding the city down. Yeah, just still, I'm up here in IHOP. Sorry about that. Yeah, still fighting crime and thinking about you. My condolences as well. I asked about you recently, man.
Yeah. Chairman Mom passed away. OJ Hancock, man.
Yeah. I'm still around, man, and I got some different things on TikTok. I'm gonna have to send you some of my videos. Man.
Okay.
Hilarious. Yeah, the count keeps growing. I'm gonna get up there with it, but Rittenhouse, it was all fake. We know what's going on, but you made great points. I like to watch it to see how they treat him compared to how it would have been if it were African American person in a similar situation. You know,
right.
That's what really gets me interested. And crocodile tears, it's not real. I've slammed people in my line of work, you know, protecting the city plenty of times, and never did I ever slam somebody that cried like that.
You said
I've
you
broken
slam
a few
people.
legs.
Hey, somebody wants to know, do you still have your super suit?
I got it around, but I kind of take it easy with it because it's just too well known. So sometimes I just change up.
Okay.
I like to change it up sometimes so they never know where a superhero is coming from. Sometimes you got to change up because they can see me in that suit a mile away and they start running, you know, before I can kick ass. You know what I mean?
I get you,
So
brother.
now, yeah, they don't know what to expect. So, but I'm still doing my thing, hanging in there, going to the gym. You know, the last time you saw where I had lost some weight, I walk, run, eat right. I do all the superhero things that I need to do to be able to fight crime in the city of Cincinnati.
Sound good to me.
Yep. But I will definitely, I got the number now.
Okay.
And I will keep in touch, and I'll be sending you and some of the choppers some of my up-to-date videos on TikTok.
Oh, for sure, man. You always, man. You on Facebook still? You can watch the show.
Okay. All right. I will. I definitely will. So, again, thank you and all the choppers out there. Have a great day.
All right. Good to hear from you. The real OJ Hancock, man. OJ. And I spelled it correctly because he says that's what he makes the ladies say. OJ Hancock. That was, man, we used to have so much fun. He was a real superhero too. Real superhero. Like OJ Hancock was really in the city saving people, but not in like the superhero kind of way per se. I don't think he minds me saying this, hopefully, but you know, he dealt with some addiction. He dealt with an addiction and beat it many years ago. So he out in the streets of Cincinnati trying to help other people get cleaned up. If that ain't a superhero, I don't know what is. Sound like a superhero to me. The real, not the real, but OJ man, listen, bro, come on, pap in. We building every single day. We grow every single day with this little show and with our platform. So come on in. All we need now is the real Terrence Howard. Y'all need to hit up the real Terrence Howard if you are friends with him and let him know it's time to link back up with Nate so we can do something beautiful. We taking it to the next level in 2022. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, me and OJ, you know, good guy. And I remember one time, man, I'll freely tell you this, man, because I don't have no, matter of fact, the table's still over there. My wifey, she's the type that'll be driving around the city and she'll see some shit that's out, like people put out in the trash. And she's seen this great black wooden table. Matter of fact, it's right there. And she called me. I'm like, let me go see it. I keeps it Rizzo with you. And it wasn't too far from the house. And went to go look at it because I was looking for a big table to be in my office. She found one, man. I literally was about to pick it up and put it on the car, but it was too big for the car. And there was another dude that got there before us, and he was gonna claim it. And guess who it was? It was OJ Hancock. He was like, Nate. I'm like, OJ. He let me have it. I actually put it on my shoulders and walked that motherfucker home. Yeah, and it's sitting right there now. Every time I look at it, I think about OJ. He was a good sport about that because it was nice condition. One man's trash is another man's treasure. I'll take it. I keeps it Rizzo. I ain't got no reason to lie about a damn thing. So damn, it's good to hear from OJ. Let me respect OJ Hancock. OJ helped out his way. I ain't mad at him. Yeah. So for real, dude is in the streets, or he was. I haven't talked to him. It's the first time I talked to him in years. But he was in the street Cincinnati trying to help people get off the streets and get cleaned up, you know, people dealing with addictions and things like that. I'll say it again. That's some real heroic. Sounds like a hero to me. Sound like some hero-ish to me. But let me move on. Some other things we want to get to this morning. and this is more local. So we talked about the horse-drawn carriages. Again, I stand by that. Men don't care about horse-drawn carriage rides. There's only two types of men who are into that kind of thing. Nobody thinks that smelling horse is attractive. I don't care what you're doing. The smell of a horse can kill it. I don't want to smell that. A horse smells like a horse. Now, if I'm riding that motherfucker across the Ohio River to freedom, eyes free, boss, cool. Smells great. Smells like freedom. Other than that, I don't want to do. That's not a good Saturday night for me. But men do it because we're in a doghouse or we trying to get whatever from a woman, and she seems like, oh, this is romantic. It's that whole Cinderella shit. You ain't grew up with no damn horse, but now you want to do a horse-drawn carriage. You don't get your ass out of here. But people do it because they're lovers. And they sell flowers too, so you can buy a little flower for your boo. Here you go, boo, and you can snuggle back in. And then be driven around Cincinnati smelling like horse. Not a good time. But let me talk about Cincinnati landlords have to accept late rent under a new pay-to-stay ordinance. These sound like a good idea. City Council unanimously passed a pay-to-stay ordinance just yesterday aimed at preventing evictions in the city. The new law requires landlords to stop an eviction if the tenant can pay all past due rent and late fees. Now, why is this important? Well, you got people like the folks over at the community action agencies and others that's got money to help people in certain circumstances. But I think what was happening, and I gathered this from the public city council meetings that they had about a month ago about this, is that there were people who were getting evicted while the money was in the pipeline to get to the landlord. So the money's on the way. It might be a week, it might be 2 weeks, it might be 3 weeks, but the money's on the way, and people are getting evicted before the money could get to the landlord. So city council said, what are we going to do about this? You got Project Lift, you got St. Vincent de Paul, I think JFS as well, and the Community Action Agency. And so they want to keep people in their homes, right? Which, you know, from these organizations, and I do have some insights, what I can tell you is you got a lot of good people working very, very hard, but it's just so overwhelming. The demand is just so high. And then when you match that with the fact that across the board, people are deciding they want to leave jobs and do their own thing, these local organizations are dealing with that as well. So there's a lot of concern about how do you get the money from the organization to the people that need it in enough time that they don't get evicted. Now city council comes in with this. And I think that it's a win-win situation. It's a win-win because if you're a property owner, you want your money. You deserve your money and you're going to get your money. And if you're somebody who was maybe down on their luck and got behind because of COVID, it disrupted your money, your income stream, you get to stay in your house. And you don't have to deal with the stress. Like that's something that we take for granted, right? Like if you're not in that situation, that's got to be a huge stress. That's got to be a huge stress, especially if you got children and you looking at the days go by and you know that rent is late and you getting those messages. You might be getting phone calls. You might be getting emails from the property owner. They want their money. You ain't got it. Now you behind. That's got to be a particular stress. That's got to be a very unique stress that it's not good for anybody. There's a quote in here in which they say that there were up to 75 evictions a day. The majority are for non-payment. Under Ohio law, did you know this? A landlord can evict a tenant for being just 1 day late on rent. And they are not obligated to accept late payment. Did you know that? And I think there are some more reforms that can be put in place. I'm very interested in seeing what the new mayor and the new council are going to do. And I don't know at this point, if you're asking me, Nate, what do you think about what AFTAB is going to do with the new super Democrat majority? I think they got a real opportunity to they got the kind of opportunity where they could make national news. You know what I'm saying? They could really set the mold. They could set a brand new standard for city councils in the city of Cincinnati to follow, but really across the country. They've got that kind of opportunity with this new council with AFTAB Pureval. Now, will they do that? I don't know. I'm optimistic. I think they will. But if it were me, that's how I would be looking at it. Like, oh, we got an opportunity to do something big, big, big. Because really, all that talk that people was talking about, there's nothing stopping me from doing it now. There's nothing stopping. And there's some reforms that can be put in place to further protect renters. We could go a couple steps further to protect renters. And we'll be all watching to see if they really do it. But let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, Nathan, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Brother Fame, welcome.
Yes, Fame Ralston, a.k.a. Michael Snackson. Happy Veterans Day to all the folks, even Glenn. Even Glenn from Mason, a.k.a. fake-ass Cotton Hill, a.k.a. I killed 50 men looking ass. But listen, that kid's not faking. He's shook. I mean, I don't even rock with, full disclosure, I don't even rock with Kev on the cell like that. But I have to agree with him wholeheartedly. That kid I think that kid's scared to death. You know what I mean? And we just don't like the way he was treated after the shooting. The kid glove they're handling him with now, after he handled the AR-15. They're treating him, getting, preferential treatment. That's what we didn't like. But, okay, other than catching a gun charge, he really did nothing wrong. They ran up on him. Tried to take his gun. There was some separation for a minute, but they came back, and so he gave him that word. We just don't like the fact that he ain't in court talking greasy to the judge like our kids do when they get caught with a gun charge or shoot somebody, talking about F you and all that kind of stuff. He's shook. You just seeing a different kid on the stand. I'm like, the kid can be scared. I personally think he realizes that he could be facing, life in prison? Is that what he's facing?
You know what? I must confess, I'm not sure how much time that he's facing.
I mean, yeah, he was 17 when he did this. I mean, yeah, okay, that's what he should be hit with, the gun charge, a murder charge. I think that might be a bit extreme. And speaking of which, I'm sorry, I have to disagree with you. I heard TNT. Listen, I love her to death, but that NAACP is getting to her. She's starting to sound like a Negro. Everything sounds doom and gloom coming for her anymore. It's like, damn, like that organization was formed back then. Things are a lot better now, TNT. You don't have to, sound so melancholy when you call in. Trying to set a scene for us. We're all sick and sad, and see what's happening with this kid. White supremacy is being thrown in our face. That's what's going on. Like I said, with the way they're calling him, but I can't say if I was in that same situation, I wouldn't have squeezed. I don't think nobody in his chop shop would do anything different. Now he should have had his ass down there with his AR-15. That's a different story. But he's here now. That's what we have to deal with. You understand?
Anything else, brother?
No, sir. That's all I got. It's been real. I had fun. We'll talk again.
All right. Appreciate the call. I think he got a little crush on TNT. So that's his way of like shooting his shot. That's what I think. I imagine, brother. Do you, man? But what do you think? 513-873-7134. So back to this ordinance, pay to stay ordinance. I mean, as I understand, I think it's a good idea, long overdue. But the one thing we got to give people latitude. We got to give people latitude and I'm a big believer that smart people learn from situations, dumb people do not. And from what I see, with this new council, you got a lot of smart people. Okay. And so I think they're going to sit back and learn from what we learned through the pandemic and then put things in place that perhaps maybe we didn't think about or didn't know we really needed. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you go to, rent a property. They got some landlords, man, where they give you the rental agreement. It's like 2 pages. You got others, it's 10 pages. The difference is experience. When you start experiencing different things, you realize, oh, we got to write some more paragraphs. Cover this, cover this, cover that, cover that. And it's the same thing with city council. Like, you might say that they should have already had a pay to stay ordinance put in place, but the pandemic uncovered some opportunities. So to me, again, we got to analyze it. I don't think there's any one shot policy or idea that's going to cure everything, but this seems like a good idea. This seems like a good idea here. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hey, good morning, comrade.
What's up, Black Russia?
I'm chilling. What's happening?
I'm doing well, brother. Welcome.
Thank you. Hey, did you I think this may be in your title line, but I don't know if you got to it, but did you watch that WCPO special on, I guess, with Joe Dieters and Allison Hathaway, I guess, got bail beef?
I did not watch the special, but I plan on talking about this morning, so I'm aware of the issues. Okay.
Hey, it's not looking good. I mean, based upon what's transpired, I'm interested to hear what you got to say about it. But the fact remains, these people out on bond is reoffended while they out on bond. I mean,
well,
it's one of those phenomena, I guess.
Well, we kind of talked about this. I think that Joe Dieters is political stunting. He's stunting politically. This is nothing more than playing politics and trying to appeal to potential voters. That's what it is to me. Because, I mean, I don't think that pretrial bond is the issue. I don't think that's a major factor in violence in the city of Cincinnati. In fact, it's constitutional. You post bond, you get out. Now, if you reoffend, that's not the judge's fault. That's the individual's fault.
Well, how is it not the judge's fault if they set the bail to a certain level and this person gets back out? Because part of the bail situation is to protect the public.
Yeah.
So, like, based upon, go ahead.
No, you go ahead, brother. You finish your flow.
No, I was going to simply say that based upon certain facts that are known, a lot of these cases involve high serious offenses. So it just seems that some of the bails, at least this initial one that was talked about in the news, was kind of low. I mean, I think it was like 15,000 to 10%. So all you had to do was post 1,500 on the gun case. Like, some of these guys, that's chump change on the bail for a gun case. Now, after the dude reappears, now she goes back and puts $250,000 straight on him, cash. Like, how come she didn't do that in the first place?
Well, are you done?
Yeah, go right ahead. That was rhetorical either.
I don't know a lot of judges personally. I'm friendly with some. But my general opinion is, whether white or black, or no matter what their background is or what their political party affiliation is, I don't believe any judge sets a bond or a bail thinking that somebody's going to reoffend. They don't have a crystal ball. They can't see the future. I don't believe that these men and women, or in this particular case, Allison Hathaway, is going to set a bond with the knowledge in her head that this person's going to go out there and commit another offense. They're not thinking that. I don't believe that at all.
But possibly, but it might be a possibility.
I don't think it's a possibility at all. I don't believe that at all.
Well, if they're not thinking it's a possibility, then they're really not doing their job. If they don't think it's possible that this person that got a gun case before you gets a $1,500 bond, basically, they might go out here and do something else with another gun.
Okay.
If that thought doesn't cross your mind as a judge, then, I mean, you're brain dead.
Okay, well, let me change the word then, because I see you took advantage of my word choice. Let me take out possible and bring in probable, right? Or maybe even likely. I don't believe that these judges are setting these bonds thinking this person's going to go out and reoffend, Because if that was the case, they set it higher or they wouldn't give him a bail or a bond at all. I don't believe that. And that's how Joe Dieters is kind of making it seem. He's kind of making it seem like the Democrat judges, the black judges, the black female judges, they are
He ain't
just
used no
so.
color. He ain't used no color. No,
I'm
he ain't
just
used
saying,
no.
Allison Hathaway is
He
a
ain't used
sister,
no
isn't she?
sex.
She's a sister, isn't she?
She appears to be. I don't know her personally, but from the pictures I saw, she appears.
She appears to be. So to me, it's just a political play. He's trying to make it seem like these judges are just so sympathetic to criminals that they're going to just sit back and allow criminals to prey on individual citizens. I don't believe that whatsoever. I think they're looking at it. I think I think for far too long that we've often over prosecuted and over bailed people. Then when we try to bring things back in line, we don't really understand what we're doing. People don't understand it. That's what I think.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. You know, I'm just looking at what happened. Like, she went back and changed her bail after, I guess, this guy reoffended.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Now, if she didn't, then you might have more of an argument. But the fact that she changed it after there was another occurrence, that tells you that it's a building process, right? I think that if Allison Hathaway had not changed it after the guy allegedly committed an assault, I think it was, after she gave him bail, then you have more of an argument to say that something's not right here with her. But she did the right thing by all accounts. I just think this is just purely politically motivated by Joe Dieters. He's trying to make it seem like these, I think, more than likely Democrat judges are not fit for their jobs. And he's just trying to play to the electorate for the upcoming elections for these judges. That's what I think. I see right through him.
Okay, well, I mean, cool. My whole position on it is that the fact that she went back and changed it based upon him going out and reoffending, like, she didn't think that he was going to have a possibility of him reoffending again on 1500. Plus, then you got to look at people's records and all types of factors that go into that.
Right.
It's seeming like, and then you want to inject race and sexism and all this, where, hey, if the shoe fits, where I never heard him talk about race as a judge. I never talked about sex as a judge. I've heard him talk about judges in general. And now, you know, he got that little, I guess he got that Tuesday weekly update where, like, if you go to the prosecutor's website, you can see some of the cases in real time as far as the bails and what's going on.
If he really cared about Hamilton County and serving our interests, his time could be better spent in playing these games. But he can do what he wants to do on his Facebook page. And you can play people are sophisticated, Black Russia. You know this. You could play the race card without ever saying anything about race. Because he did that with Fanon Rucker. He played the race card with Fanon Rucker without ever mentioning race whatsoever. So, yeah, I
don't necessarily recall that. I remember some of the.
You remember those ads when he was like, the ads was like, he was taking a case that Fanon Rucker had presided over, and I don't remember all the details, but apparently he didn't go as tough or as hard. He didn't go as tough or as hard as Joe Dieters thought he would have.
Okay.
And so he had this whole ad campaign where he was trying to make it seem like, and it worked effectively, that if Fanon Rucker were to become the prosecutor, that he would be less serious about crime than he would be. It was a dog whistle without ever using race. And I wonder if he's trying to do the same thing now with Allison Hathaway and these other judges where it makes sense. That's what I think. And again, like I told you, I think in Hamilton County and in general across the country, we've been over prosecuting and overcharging bail for so long that now that people are trying to bring more common sense to that process, some folks don't know how to deal with it and we don't know how to react to it.
But the question begs the question, though, again, like you said, over prosecution, the people have been posted high bails, the bails have been, you know, unduly burdensome on some of the defendants. It begs the question, well, if we go the other way and bails start getting, you know, like in this particular case that was highlighted on the news, you get $1,500 bail and you go out here and shoot somebody, then, we need to go ahead and do $250,000 straight. But it begs the question again, that doesn't add to the crime situation, because only 1% of people out here doing this stuff. The majority of citizens, law-abiding citizens, they out here robbing and raping. But, you know, the ones that are, seems to be getting very, very favorable bonds. That go out here and do it again. At least that's what it looks like now. You know, a lot of the situations we see on the news, there's people out on bond when they do this stuff. Like up there in was that Dave and Buster's? Yeah, like that dude was out on bond.
Right.
You know, it's starting to look like a pattern of people out on bond.
And
you know, are the main people out here committing acts.
And this is why I say that we can't be gullible. We can't be gullible because there's a national movement around bail reform. And so the reaction to it is the national movement to make it seem like bail reform is causing an increase in crime. They're hand in hand. And that's what Joe Dieters is trying to do here locally. This is a national agenda that he's a part of. We're just seeing what he's doing here in Hamilton County. And what I would say is show me the numbers. If Joe Dieters, all this time he's spending talking about individual cases, then do an analysis. He got the money from the prosecutor's office. Do an analysis and show us the numbers and prove us statistically, instead of you just talking anecdotally and trying to piece together these individual circumstances. And then too, what we got to remember is we talking about pre-trial bond. These people are considered innocent to proven guilty. They ain't been found guilty of nothing. Man, these men and women, this particular case, this man wasn't found guilty. This was pre-trial. So in America, pre-trial, you're innocent to proven guilty. You can post a bond if the judge says so and get out, period. That's just the way our system is set up.
That's how it works. Yeah, I know. I get that. As far as the focus is, the judge is supposed to set the bond.
And the judge is doing, this is called, it's amazing how when the judges go overboard, the Joe Dieters types got no problem with it. It's all about judge's discretion. But when the judges are not as hard as they want them to be, all of a sudden you want to do a weekly podcast.
I mean, but that's his role, though.
No, that's not his role. I've heard Joe Dieters I've heard Joe Dieters in other cases say it's not my role to criticize the Ohio Supreme Court. I've heard him say that. That's not his role. His role is to be the Hamilton County prosecutor, not to tell us what he thinks about what Hamilton County judges are doing. We voted for him.
He's allowed to do that. Hold on, he's allowed to do that.
That's not his role. That is nowhere in the job description for Hamilton County prosecutor at all. That is not his role. That's not his role. I've heard him say this before. I've heard him say, I'm not a judge. If you don't like it, change the law. I've heard him say this when he was talking about matters of the state or the Ohio Supreme Court. I've heard Joe Dieters say this. It's not my role. My role is Hamilton County prosecutor. If people don't like it, then deal with it as an electorate. But now here in Hamilton County, all of a sudden, this is his role. You can't be gullible, bro. You got to understand this is a part of this is the local manifestation of a national agenda to combat bail reform. That's all this is and nothing more than that.
So the judges, okay, so let me ask you this before I go. So we're talking about a national bail reform movement, right?
Yeah.
Are judges supposed to be in the role of these types of movements? That begs that question, because then you're saying that this movement, the judges should be part of this bail reform movement. And it's like, that's not their role. That's not their role. Their role is to set.
But that is their role. Their role.
But now you want it both ways. You want judges to be part of the bail reform movement.
I want judges.
But Joe Dieters can't say his piece. I want judges to do.
I want judges to do what judges were elected to do. And part of that, depending on the type of the court and the cases that come before them, is their discretion to decide bail. That is their role. And if a judge says, I looked at the record, I looked at the circumstances, and this is the bail that I think is appropriate, that's what it is. Period.
Right. So then they go out here and they get a person that reoffends. And Joe Dieters supposed to be like, that's not saying nothing.
That is not the judge's, that's not on the judge, that's on the individual.
But that's not, it's not on the judge. Come on,
no, man. It's not on the judge.
It's inconsistent. So then what do we elect these judges to do?
To do the job that they're doing.
Which might be piss poor.
Well,
if you ask some people. And I think that's
you're right. People can have their opinion. You're right about that. In my opinion, I don't believe that a judge is going to set a bail. The defendant posts bail, gets out, and then goes out and commits another crime. I don't believe that's the judge's fault at all. Not at all. That's on the individual. The judge is doing their job per the laws and the Constitution. We talking about pre-trial. Never went to
I
trial at
understand what you're
all.
talking about.
That is that. I don't think that any judge, Democrat or Republican, is setting bail thinking that there's a good likelihood this person's gonna go out here and kill somebody. I don't think anybody's doing that. I think they
But just
all
about
think
the
the
possibility.
opposite.
The possibility though, you had to fix your flow, and I appreciate that.
Yeah,
as
but there's a
far as what they
possibility no
likely.
matter how. There's a possibility no matter how high the bond is. That the judge has no. The judge can't
that's not
foresee.
true.
The judge can't foresee the future. They can't foresee the future, because if they would, they'd probably choose something different. This is all just an attempt. It's that law and order, lock them up, forget her forever mentality. I want you locked up before trial, and then I want to lock you up after we get you with in some cases, majority white jury. We want to lock you up for the rest of your lives, and it just don't work. And again, if that's a part of the violence, then show me the numbers. They should be easy to find. Show us the numbers. Put an analysis together.
I think that's part of what he's doing when he's putting out these Tuesday pieces.
Nah, that's anecdotal. But I must be fair. I haven't watched them, so maybe he is putting some analysis, some numbers. I haven't watched them, to be fair.
You should check it out. I mean, at least one of them. I mean, I think he only had the second one. He just started doing this 2 weeks ago. So like last week was the first one. I didn't see the one this past Tuesday. But
Joe Dieters is a coward, because he had an opportunity to talk directly to the black community when he was running for re-election against Fanon Rucker. And instead of showing up at that NAACP event, he could have made his case right there in front of everybody. He chose not to show up.
And he won anyway.
He did win anyway.
He made his case to the voters. So,
he did win anyway.
It's one of those situations like, he'll tell the NAACP, hey, look, hey, maybe get the ballot box. And, so far, nobody's been able to do it. And again, he don't have to even run again until 2024. So saying this is political in some sense, and maybe.
That's an election year.
It's up to the judges. It's over to the judges. It's up to the judges to run their race, and people vote countywide. What happens like that? I mean, that's what it is. I mean, Alison Hathaway or any other judge, if they want to run again for re-election, I guess 5 years now, so they get 6-year terms, they just got to make their case. I mean, I ain't got no problem with that. I'm just saying, if we're going to get mad about Joe Dieters saying what he say, he going to do what he do. He been winning regardless. And
he been winning and we've been losing.
Well, who's been losing?
Hamilton County.
Who is we?
The general electorate and all the people who live in Hamilton County. My personal opinion is we could be served much better if we had somebody else in that position.
Well, I guess one day we will. Not sure when that day's going to hit, but the fact of the matter is, you being mad about Joe Dieters saying what he's saying. I'm like, that's what he's going to do as a prosecutor, bro. If the judges ain't set appropriate bonds, I mean, he's arguing for higher bonds, and then say, now I'm going to go the other way. You expect him not to say nothing publicly about that? And then somebody go out here and reoffend, and then all of a sudden the judge wants to up the bond.
It's like, not all of a sudden. You're wrong in your characterization about that, sir. That's not all of a sudden. That's the way that you would expect things to go. She set a bond. Dude gets out. He reoffends. He comes before her. She ups the bond. Everybody in the world would expect that from any judge. That's what you would expect.
So it takes somebody to reoffend to go out here and get
it happens every day in America, because judges are not clairvoyants. They're just judges. Then she can't see the future. She can't read his mind. He came before her. She read the jacket. She read the circumstances. He may have said a few words. She made a decision. That's what judges do. Man,
part of this whole situation is the likelihood to reoffend. And that's what it is. It's like if you don't see that possibility coming down the pipe when you're setting bonds, then you're not doing your job.
Yeah, but where is that a perfect science? How are you going to read the likelihood to reoffend? That's not a perfect science. It's a judgment call.
You look at people's records.
It's a judgment call.
You look at the records. You look at all that, man.
It's a judgment call.
All this stuff.
It's a judgment call.
It's a judgment call. And some people show bad judgment. And that's okay to say.
And some people seize upon circumstances that happen for their own political purposes, and that's what Joe Dieters is doing right now. That's what he's doing. This is all, and you all swept up with it. You didn't drink the Kool-Aid.
I'm just trying to be objective. I'm trying to be objective about it.
It don't sound too objective. Sound like you on daddy's lap on this one.
you don't sound like you being objective either. Like just like shut up and dribble. Like let the judges do whatever they do, and then people go out here and reoffend while they out on bond.
I'm just talking. I'm talking logics and facts. That's what the judges are elected and/or appointed to do. She made her decision, and that's it. You're trying to. It seems like Joe Dieters, and you're kind of buying in this Black Russia, where you're trying to find fault in what's the routine mechanisms of what a judge does. Guy came before her. She made a decision, set bond. He reoffends. He comes before her again. She ups the bond. You would have a better argument if the bond was the same or she lowered it, but she didn't do that. So I don't understand. Joe Dieters is trying to make something out of nothing, and you falling for it, hook, line, and sinker, man. You are falling for it.
Initial bonds happen every day, and some judges are different than other judges. All I'm saying is, again, she has to account for that. And like up for the bond after somebody got shot is like, come on.
That is not her fault. I wouldn't blame any judge, male, female, Democrat, Republican. I wouldn't blame any judge. If you set a bail or a bond, the person pays the bond, they go out here and reoffend, I ain't blaming the judge. The judge didn't think that was going to happen, or they wouldn't have set the bond at that level.
Or the judge didn't consider it, and it just happened, and it was a bad call.
And see,
and that's what it's a bad call.
You didn't drunk the Kool-Aid, you eating the licorice and everything.
Oh my goodness!
You really believe this nonsense that Joe Dieters is selling, that somehow this is just bad judgment? Because if she was more like him, if he was a judge and would just give people the maximum $1 million for everybody, then we wouldn't have violence in Cincinnati. That's a fairy tale, and it's ridiculous.
That's not what I said.
But that's what he's saying, though, and you're reiterating what he's saying.
He's not saying
it
be
sounds
like
crazy.
He ain't saying be like B. He's saying set appropriate bonds.
He's saying we need to be tougher, set higher bonds. When people got certain things on their record, they shouldn't get out pre-trial. That's exactly what he's saying.
I've never heard him say people shouldn't get out pre-trial.
That's what he's saying. That's exactly. I'm just watering it all the way down. That's exactly what he's saying.
I didn't hear that. I'm hearing set appropriate bonds for situations. And say, hey, it's okay to say sometimes judges make bad calls. It's okay to say that. They do. They're human too.
Okay.
That's okay to say.
And it's also okay to say that Joe Dieters is playing politics. And it's not just okay. That's what he's doing. You can't see this, man? You don't see this for real, bro?
What I'm saying is Joe Dieters is entitled to say what he wants. He's elected official, bro. Like you said, like he's playing this game with these judges. I'm like, he said, look, he goes to court and argues for what he argues for. The judges either take it or leave it. If they leave it, and then some it happens, you expect them not to say nothing about it.
I'm going to find
those
quotes where Joe Dieters was saying that he is a prosecutor and it's not his job to criticize the other courts. I think he was talking about the Supreme Court. He was talking about the death penalty. And he was going on and on and on about how it's not his job to criticize the role of the courts. It's his job to enforce the laws. That's what he said when he was talking about the death penalty. But now all of a sudden, it's his role to give his opinion about what the judges are doing. He's just a hypocrite. He's just a hypocrite. I'm surprised you're smarter than this, man. But I got to make a move, Black Rush. I appreciate the call.
All right, take it easy.
Appreciate the call, man. We're gonna go level up. We're gonna level up. I got to take another pause for the calls. We'll be right back. My friends over at Renew, really our friends at Renew Community Church, want to get in front of you a little bit, as well as the good folks over at the Ohio State of Emergency. Sit tight. Don't go anywhere.
Can't sleep.
It's hard to pay attention in school.
I say mean things.
I keep getting in trouble.
I bully other kids.
I'm just scared.
No one sees my pain.
Sometimes I want to die.
So many of our children are facing trauma, but instead of seeing their pain and fear, we're labeling them bad, troubled, delinquent, or criminal. Let's look beyond their behaviors. Let's get them the help they need by helping them address the trauma they're facing.
Help me feel safe.
See me for more than my behaviors.
Understand that my actions are how I communicate my fears.
For more information, visit www.ohiostateofemergency.com. That's ohiostateofemergency.com.
And speaking of which, my friends over at Renew Community Church, they are helping to sponsor those ads for the Ohio State of Emergency. They will 100% support the work that they are doing. So check them out, Ohio State of Emergency, and tap into and learn more about their movement and what they're trying to do. I think it's very admirable. Since we're talking about my friends over at Renew Community Church, they got a brand new live stream you can check out this Sunday at 11:45 a.m. Are the people around you running you crazy? They say I'm crazy. Learn signs of mental challenges and when to ask for help. Now you can view this live stream on their Facebook page at Cincy Renew. That's CINCI Renew. And also over on YouTube at Renew Community Church live stream. Check them out. Tap in. Dude was like he had a really bad day. Maybe a really bad month. Maybe a really bad month. Glenn writes, BR gets his meds in 4 more days, the 1st and the 15th. You're right about that. Brenda writes, bye, BR. I don't know what the hell he was talking about, man. I mean, it's clear to me that this is we need to have a conversation. Show me the numbers. Let me start here. Show me the numbers. Let's start with the facts. Show me the numbers that would prove or to suggest that pretrial bail is contributing to the violence that we see on the streets. I love to see that. Could be true, but I haven't seen those numbers. If Joe Dieters had those numbers, guess what he'd be leading with? The numbers. But clearly he hasn't either done the analysis or he has, and the numbers don't match the rhetoric. I don't know what Joe Dieters' motivation is because I'm not Joe Dieters and I don't know Joe Dieters. I've never spoken to Joe Dieters. From where I'm sitting, it's all bullish. It's nothing but partisan politics. He's trying to make it seem like these Democrat judges don't belong to be there. They don't belong to be there because they're unqualified and they're too caught up with their liberal dreams. Point in fact is that bail is a problem. And for far too long pre-trial, you had too many people that was languishing. That's on our dime, sitting down there at the county jail when they could be at home. And again, I don't think any judge out there is going to set bail thinking that somebody's going to go out there and reoffend. Is it a possibility? It's always a possibility. We know that anything's possible. It is possible that the moon is artificial and it's hollow and that Martians or moon people are living there. Anything is possible. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think that any judge, Democrat or Republican, male or female, black, white, or whatever ethnicity, is going to make that kind of decision because I think these are people. I think it'll weigh on them. You know, you set the bail, this fool go out here and do something stupid. That's on the individual. You had your chance, sir. When you come back in here, we up the bail because you just proved that you were untrustworthy. That's what you would expect a judge to do. And Joe Dieters is trying to make a big deal out of it because he wants to scare people prior to upcoming elections. He wants to set the table. You know what I'm saying? And again, if you've been watching anything, this is a national thing. You know, Republicans and Republican acolytes are doing this all over the country. They're doing this all over the country. And depending on the locale, it's actually working in some places. Sad to say. Okay, looking at the time here, got to make a move. I really appreciate you. To accurately predict the risk of recidivism for any offender requires a deep understanding of the psychology of the individuals and the specific circumstances in a given situation. In my experience with the criminal justice system, many judges don't have this level of training in general. There is no set rule. It depends on the judge's personal opinions more than competency. Man, you can be married to somebody and you can't predict what they're going to do. You don't know, let alone you a judge and you just looking at papers and reading somebody and looking at somebody and talking with somebody for the first time. You try to make the best judgment you can. That's what I would think. But Joe Dieters wants to make it into something deeper so that the next time a Republican judge is running, that judge will run on, I'm not going to set low bails. I'm going to be tough on crime. Where have you heard that before? And he's hoping that people in Hamilton County will vote for the Republican judge over the Democrat contender. That's all it is. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. Jerica writes, sir, you're ignoring my question. Where's your smoke for Aaron Rodgers, regardless of the vaccine? We'll talk about Aaron Rodgers maybe tomorrow. Aaron Rodgers is a damn fool. He needs to shut the hell up and go back out there and play football. I feel the same way as Kyrie Irving. I don't feel no different. But I haven't really spoken about Aaron Rodgers. You're right about that. She writes, you had all the smoke for LeBron and Kyrie. Look at Jerica. She always here to tell me what I had. I know what I had smoke for. I know, sis. I thank you so much. Always a checks and balances with my sister. Always a checks and balances, but I'm here for it. So no, I wasn't ignoring your question. I was just on to some other things. I didn't plan to talk about Aaron Rodgers. Perhaps we'll talk about him tomorrow or this week. But I feel the same way. We don't give a damn. Matter of fact, I feel even worse because he was being deceptive. And they need to throw the book at him. I don't know what the penalty is going to be or if the penalty has been meted out. But there's a difference between Aaron Rodgers and Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving didn't lie about what he was doing. As I understand it, Aaron Rodgers was disingenuous about whether he took the vaccine or not and had people thinking he took the vaccine when he really didn't. And the problem with that is that here you are around other human beings and possibly infecting them. So if I was a teammate, I'd be pissed on some levels. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. We want our quarterback there so we could win. But I look at his situation as worse than Kyrie Irving, just in my opinion. Angela writes, Joe wants the good old boys in the county courtrooms, period. Right, he wants the good old boys. He wants the good old boys, and the only thing they have is fear-mongering. That's the only leg that the Republican Party has left is fear-mongering. That's it. Chastity writes, bail reform ordinance was passed almost 2 years ago in the city. The judges refused to adhere to the ordinance. I know for a fact they did. I sat and talked with them. I will believe what sis has to say. Again, I want to remind you, my friends, and really our friends at Renew Community Church have a brand new live series. You could tap in on Facebook or YouTube every Sunday starting at 11:45 a.m. It's led by Charlie Winburn. And this Sunday, are the people around you running you crazy? You can learn signs of mental challenges and when to ask for help. And I'm going to make a move and enjoy the rest of my Veterans Day. Again, a happy Veterans Day to all the veterans, all the brave men and women who have served in our armed forces and fought in America's wars. Happy Veterans Day to you. Thank you for your service. Have an excellent rest of your Thursday. I plan to be back and better than ever with you bright and early tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I appreciate you. Have an excellent rest of your day. Let me see. In about 15 minutes, I'm going to be on the road getting it in every day. Health is wealth. So take care of yourself, family, and we'll catch up real soon. I'm Nathan Ivey, and I'm out.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand. I'm back again like flu season. I broke records while loose leafing. I'm coming down my roof, leaving. Don't give a I don't care. Did the for my lonesome. No wonder now I'm on one. No shortcuts on that long run. All I really want is my share. Get on my God, on my told him it's nothing. In the discussion, for them feelings I throw on my pain on percussion. It's disgusting. I hear them bragging about that they did, and it do not move me, not in the least. They ain't been dropping no seeds in the soil, but swear that you all must spot at the feast. I've been on go mode, show mode, showboat, rowboat, wave ride, cool.